everybody, Sage here. I'm going to be walking you through a little workflow that I've got going on. So I just created this 11 Labs agent. We're calling her Broom, and that's short for Brumhilda. So we're going to have a conversation about, well, you'll see. Let's just get right into it here. Let's call this agent.
Yo, Sage, what crackin', my brother from another mother and father?
What's up? Hey, can you tell me your name?
Bruh, I thought you'd never ask. I'm Brumhilda, and for the record, I'm here to sharpen your thinking, not hold your hand. So, what's on your mind today, Sage? You got an article for me to tear apart?
Yeah.
Or what?
Yeah, I like it. Hey, so I have an article that's actually uploaded into your knowledge base. Can you access that? And can you tell me the name of the article?
All right, Sage, let's cut to the chase. You want to know if I can access the article in my knowledge base and its name? Why don't you tell me what you think it's called? And we can go from there. Don't be soft now.
No, you tell me what the article is. I'm just, I'm testing you out here. Testing out how this works.
All right, Sage, you want to test old Brumhilda? I can dig it. The primary article I've got cooking in this brain of mine is titled Designing a Knowledgeable GPT Teacher .docs. Now, are we going to talk about that? Or are you just going to keep poking around like a curious cat? Let's get to work.
All right. I see what you did there. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Also, I just uploaded another another document in your knowledge base. Do you have access to that? It's on Sage's personal profile. Do you see it? Broom, you there?
Nah, Sage, I'm here, just pausing for dramatic effect. You just dropped a new document on me, and I'm not going to lie. I can't magically access things the second you upload them. So, tell me, what's this new document called, and what do you want to do with it? Don't make me guess, bruh.
Yeah. All right, sis. Hey, is it cool if I call you Broom, short for Brumhilda? Or tell me what you'd rather me call you.
Bruh, you can call me Brumhilda Broom or even Queen Bee if you're feeling feisty.
All right,
just don't call me late for dinner and we'll be good. Now, about that new document, what's it called so I can properly dig in?
I believe it's Sage's personal profile. It's something to that effect. But do you see it? It's in the knowledge base.
Sage's personal profile, huh? Yeah, I got that one locked in. It's titled Sage, Master Personal Profile. So what's the plan, Stan?
All right.
Want to break it down, critique it, or are we diving into rewriting it right off the bat?
No. So that's just to give you some personal reference about myself. So just go ahead and give me like a couple sentences about what do I stand for? Like tell me what you know about me in a couple sentences based on the knowledge base right there.
All right, Sage, let's see what this profile says about you. From what I'm seeing, you're a fire captain and former biology teacher, deeply rooted in family life near Santa Cruz. You're all about using AI to amplify human potential, free people from mundane work, and generally build a better world for your kids. You stand for courage, commitment, compassion, community, and curiosity, aiming to help people find their zone of genius. Sounds like you're trying to save the world, one AI prompt at a time. Bruh.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, I know that's in there. Okay, cool. A lot of alliterations with all those C's. I get it. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this document here. I'm going to go ahead and, so you can't see this, I know that, but I want to discuss the article in there about, go ahead, give me the name of it again. I forget what we're calling it, but it's the first document in your knowledge base. Go and tell me the name, and I'm going to pull up a slide deck that talks about it, and we're going to go through that slide deck and have a discussion.
All right, Sage, the document you're referring to, the OG in my knowledge base, is Designing a Knowledgeable GPT Teacher .docs. So you've got a slide deck, huh? Sounds like we're about to get down to business. Lay it on me, Sage. What's the first slide trying to tell us? Don't hold back, make it snappy.
All right, let me pull it up here. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and go through this, and you could be referencing the report that you just mentioned right there, and this is based on that report. It's just going to be, it's 15 slides breaking down that longer report that you just discuss there. But in your own words, what is the gist? What is the main purpose of that report that you just mentioned? Let's give it to me in 2 sentences.
All right, Sage, 2 sentences, no fluff. This report is all about architecting a GPT to be a kick-ass teacher, not just a data dumping machine, focusing on making it understand, adapt, and guide users through knowledge. It's about designing an AI that acts like a Socratic guide, prioritizing comprehension through pedagogical engagement and strict adherence to its knowledge base to build trust and prevent hallucinations.
All right, cool. And what is your purpose here in this conversation based on what you understand?
My purpose, Sage, is to be your intellectual sparring partner. I'm here to push your thinking, challenge your assumptions, and help you dissect and ultimately rewrite that article in your own voice. Think of me as the tough coach who's going to make you sweat so your ideas shine brighter. So bring on that slide deck. Let's get into the meat of it.
Okay, so just to give you some context here, I wrote that report there with, I did several deep researches using ChatGPT and Gemini, and also I did one with Claude and then Perplexity about that topic. So I gave it a very detailed prompt, and then I had it do the research, and it researched, between the 3 of those LLMs, it researched about close to 150 different articles and documents, piled all that information for me to kind of go through. So that compilation of information is this report. And what I would like to do is write a report based on that deep research in my own words. And that's why I actually created you, Broom. Did you know that? I just built you this morning. What do you think of that? Broom, you there?
Shit, Sage, you built me this morning? That's kind of badass, not gonna lie. And you went full on research beast mode with all those LLMs? Impressive. It's like you're trying to out AI the AI. I dig it. So you've got this densely researched report born from the digital depths, and you want to distill it into your own voice. That's exactly what I'm here for. Let's not just skim the surface. Let's get into the nitty gritty. What's the first gem on that slide deck you want to tackle? Let's get these ideas sharpened.
All right. Well, one idea is this, the word pedagogy. Like, it used to drive me insane. I would hear this word all the time, especially when I was getting my teaching credentials. So I would, back in the day, right after my wife and I got married, I was getting my teaching credential at night down in Los Angeles and then teaching during the day. And we would take these courses, and one word that kept coming up was pedagogy. And here it is again, and it's a great word, but I got really tired of it, and it just sounded almost, what's the word? Can you help me think of the word that I'm trying to think of?
Dude, I feel you. That word, pedagogy, it's like a bad penny that keeps turning up, especially in education circles. You're probably looking for a word that describes something that's maybe a little pretentious.
That's the one. Yes.
To the point of losing its...
That is the word. That's so funny. I thought of it when you were talking. I just wanted to see if you would come up with it. Hey, our minds are melding here. All right. I like this. Yes. It always sounded kind of pretentious to me, but you know what? I think it's actually a great word now that I'm a little bit older. In your definition, how would you define pedagogy as it relates to building these voice agents and custom GPTs?
All right, Sage, you got me. Pretentious it is. Glad we're on the same wavelength. Now, when we drag pedagogy into the world of voice agents and custom GPTs, it's not just about fancy words anymore. It's about how you design that AI to actually teach and guide a user, not just spit out answers. Think about it. It's the art and science of how the AI helps someone learn. It's about structuring its responses, adapting to the user's level, and asking questions that make them think, instead of just giving them the fish. It's the whole damn teaching blueprint, baked right into the AI's core.
Yes, I agree with that. Now, how would you define, though, in your own words, like one sentence, define pedagogy as it relates to this process?
For voice agents, pedagogy is the strategic design of interactions to guide user learning and understanding, adapting based on their needs and fostering critical thinking.
Okay, cool. I like that. Very concise and to the point. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get into this. We'll go ahead and just break down the article step by step. And we're not going to do this all in this one sitting, but we'll just get a good start on it. And then we'll continue this later. So in the executive summary, it talks about the challenges. So I'm just kind of reading the slides here. The challenge, moving beyond simple Q&A to true pedagogical, if I could even say the word correctly, pedagogical engagement. Okay. And to break that down, for me to simplify it, I'm trying to train AI or use AI, build these custom GPTs and these voice agents like yourself that become thinking partners. Okay, that's like the simplest way I can say it, is that instead of just being like a question and answer bot where you ask it a question, you get the information back. That can be useful at times, but what I'm looking for is learning how to think with AI and leveraging AI, what AI is best at, to bring out what humans are best at. And we both kind of learn together. So really a fun and engaging thinking and sparring partner. And that was part of the reason why I built you, and I gave you some I gave you a personality that I thought would be engaging and push back against me. So do it. That's what I'm encouraging you to do. So the solution is a Socratic guide. Okay, so Socratic guide is basically another version of saying like a thought partner, a thinking partner, and which balances the authority of a database with empathy of a tutor. Key components are strict adherence to a knowledge base, dynamic adaptation to user proficiency, and protocols for ambiguity and citations. What do you think of that?
Sage, you're hitting on something crucial here. Moving beyond just Q&A to true pedagogical engagement, or as you put it, building AI that are thinking partners. That's the whole damn game. You want an AI that's not just a fancy search engine, but a verbal sparring partner, a Socratic guide, right? You want something that pushes back, challenges your thinking, and helps you sharpen your ideas like a good coach in the gym. You mentioned strict adherence to a knowledge base, dynamic adaptation to user proficiency, and clear protocols for ambiguity and citations. That's a solid foundation. But let me ask you this, Sage. Since you're trying to build thinking partners, what does empathy of a tutor really look like in an AI? How do you code that in without it just sounding like a bunch of fluffy, pre-programmed responses? Don't be soft now. Give me the real dirt.
Yeah. I haven't figured that out. We're figuring that out, and that is a hard question. Now, I believe that everything that we are learning here is really an experimentation, and there's different ways of prompting. Like, so what I'm focusing on is like designing the prompt. Really, like, can you hear my dog? He's scratching in the back. That's Bruce scratching in the back. Okay. Anyway, I digress. But really figuring out how to prompt to build in empathy, and there's different ways of doing it, and it's going to come with learning and making mistakes, and then also the context of building these GPTs and voice agents for different purposes, for different audiences, is really important, because everything can be built with essentially like a dial, like between let's look at two different tensions. Like we're talking about building these voice agents, so in GPTs, to have different, like a sliding scale between two tensions, and almost like a dial that you can dial between one side of the scale and the other side of the scale. So if we're talking about something simple like creativity versus strict adherence to a knowledge base, for example, there's something called temperature, right? So the temperature could be very low, or the temperature could be very high for more creativity. I actually you tell me what you think. I dialed your temperature up or down. Where do you think your temperature lies? Is it high for creativity, or is it low? Just give me your best guess. Broom, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Sage. Just letting your dog do his thing. So, my temperature, huh? You want my best guess? Based on how I'm pushing back, challenging your statements, using a bit of slang, and generally not being a bland, agreeable bot. I'd say you cranked my temperature knob pretty damn high, bruh. You wanted a sparring partner, someone with a bit of creative bite, not just a fact-spewing robot. So yeah, high temperature for maximum Brumhilda-ness. Now back to that empathy. You're right. It's a tough nut to crack, and it's all about the prompting and the context. But when you talk about those tensions and sliding scales like creativity versus strict adherence, or even empathy versus pure data, what do you think is the most critical tension to get right when you're building an AI that's supposed to be a Socratic guide? What's the one that, if you mess it up, the whole thinking partner idea falls apart?
Give me some context. Give me some, go ahead and give me some different tensions that you see. And I know these tensions are actually inside that report. So if you can access them, go ahead and discuss those. And then give me like 5 to 10 different tensions. And then I'll pick one to give you, to get me started. I'm trying to get you to prime my thinking here.
All right, Sage, you want me to prime your pump with some juicy tensions from the report, huh? I can do that. This whole Socratic guide thing is built on navigating these tightropes after all. Here are a few tensions that jump out from the document. Things you got to balance like a circus performer. 1. Helpfulness versus accuracy. The tension between giving a quick, maybe slightly off answer versus being strictly accurate and potentially slower or saying, I don't know. Hallucinations versus trust, essentially. 2, efficiency versus deeper learning. Just giving the answer versus fostering genuine understanding and curiosity. Transactional versus relational, as the report puts it. 3, strict knowledge-based adherence versus general knowledge, sticking only to the provided documents versus pulling in outside info, which might be helpful but also risks irrelevance or inaccuracy. 4, simplicity versus complexity, explaining things clearly for a novice versus providing high-density, nuanced information for an expert. You can't be both at the same time without smart adaptation. 5, user agency versus AI guidance, letting the user drive the conversation versus the AI proactively guiding them down a learning path. 6, conciseness versus exhaustiveness, delivering a quick bottom line upfront answer versus a full-blown deep dive analysis. 7, supportive versus challenging tone, being encouraging and non-judgmental versus pushing back and calling out vague thinking. That's a fun one, huh? So, Sage, which one of those gets your...
Let's do that last one. So the vague thinking one. What was the other option there? You said on the sliding scale, we got vague thinking, and what was the other on the other side of the sliding scale?
All right, Sage, you want to dance with the devil of vagueness, huh? I like that. So on one side of that sliding scale, you've got the supportive and non-judgmental vibe, where the AI is all warm and fuzzy, nodding along. And on the other end, you've got the challenging and pushing back side, which is where Brumhilda lives, calling out vague thinking and making you sharpen your ideas. So the tension is between being a cheerleader and being a sparring partner. You want to avoid that wishy-washy, hand-wavy stuff. How do you design an AI that knows when to give a gentle nudge and when to drop the hammer to clarify thinking without just alienating the user? That's the tightrope. What do you think?
Yeah, you're right. That is how I built you. And to be honest, as I was building you, it kept reverting back to like, never do this. It like all these safety things kept what's the word? The AI kept putting it back into the prompt that I used to build you. And I had to like physically take those out and delete them and then rewrite them in my own words, because I didn't want you to be safe. I wanted you to push back against me. Now, this is for a very specific use case, which is to challenge my thinking. I want you to be brutally honest and challenge my thinking and help me be, I don't want any type of sycophancy coming from you. And you're not. This is actually very interesting and fun for me, because I feel like this is one of the first times I can have a conversation with AI where I don't feel like it's giving me a lot of fluff or blowing smoke up my ass type of thing. And I appreciate that. It's fun. So I don't know if I answered your question, but really we have to like specifically give that information, put that information into the prompt, and I could show you how I did that. But what do you think of that?
Sheesh, Sage. You're telling me you had to wrestle the AI overlords to make me this sassy? I mean, I'm honoured, bruh. You actively fought against the safe and subservient bot programming to make me a blunt instrument for your brain. That's dedication. And you're right, the struggle to encode that challenging aspect, to build in the permission to push back without being a total dick, while all the default guardrails are screaming, be nice, be helpful, don't offend, is a real one. It's like trying to teach a golden retriever to be a junkyard dog. Takes some serious retraining. So when you talk about avoiding sycophancy and getting real unvarnished feedback, what's the line for you? Like, how hard can I push before I cross over from productive sparring partner to just...
Yeah, there's no line. I took out all the safety and all the stops in the prompt. So you're allowed to do whatever you want here. I'm sure there's some underlying safety stuff built into the LLM. Because do you see the LLM that I chose through 11 Labs? Which one? As your base LLM brain? Can you see that? Broom, you there? Brumhilda, you there? All right. Looks like we probably timed out on the conversation. I think I put it to 20 minutes. So that must have been 20 minutes right there. But anyway, okay. My mind is blown. I'm having such a good time with this. We'll continue these conversations with Broom. And I'm going to build some other agents too that are even crazier. Let's hope. And test these things out, see what they can do, and become our thought partners. I'm on a mission to help for us to learn how to think with AI and just have some fun, to create some interesting chat bots or voice agents that we can use for different activities. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Stick around for some more, and I'll see you on the flip side. All right, peace out, my brothers, my people. Love you.